Hello guys, what's up? Bogdan here, your 16 personalities guy. I'm gonna do something a little bit different today based on the comments and requests I've been getting from you guys to make a video about my personality type reveal. Here we go, drum roll please. My personality type is, I don't know what my personality type is, as I've said to some of you already. I have taken the test before, twice, two different kinds of tests. Some of you have been asking me to record myself taking the test, which we're going to do later. But before we do that, I want to just give a brief introduction about me taking the test previously. The first time I took it was a long time ago when I was 16 for a school assignment where we all had to take the personality test. And I got the INFJ. And when I read about it, I felt that this was very accurate. But hold on, don't get too excited. Fast forward to about a year and a half ago, I met a guy who is now my friend. We started talking about personality types. I didn't know anything about it, but he did. Had read a lot about it and so on. And he told me that I was an INTP. And I said, no, I took the test. I'm an INFJ. And he said, no, you're an INTP. The next day, I read about the INTP, and I just felt this was so accurate and so correct. Like they were inside my head, you know, as I'm sure a lot of you have felt. And then after reading the INTP, I decided to take the test again, which I did. And I got the INFJ. As I was reading about the INFJ, I felt that it was not as accurate as the INTP. So ultimately, I trusted my friend, the guy who told me that I was an INTP, more than taking an online test. I've had multiple times it's happened where my friends have taken the test and they come up to me and say, hey, look, this is what I got. And I say, nope, that's just wrong. I mean, it's just, I've heard before, the first step into finding out which personality type you are is to take the test and see which one you're not. I think it's correct if there's a person who's very intuitive and knows a lot about the personality types. If they tell you what you are, I think that's much more accurate than taking a test. After reading about the INFJ and the INTP, I decided to read about all of them. And that's how I began to study personality types and all that. Another one that I really thought was accurate to me was ISTP. You know, INFP is also one. As I was reading, I felt that this was just so accurate, and I felt that it was more true about me than the others. And so for a long time, I thought that I was INFP. Maybe that's what I am. Long story short, I don't know what I am. I don't think that one can know oneself, who they are, by going in and trying to figure out who you are. There's a lot of bias there. You're only seeing from one perspective, from your perspective. And so I think it's much more accurate if there's a person out there, very intuitive, who can look at you and say, oh, this is what you are. So without further ado, let's go take the test. Okay, so I am here at the 16 personalities website. I just decided to go with this one, just for the fun of it. Let's take the test here, and so you guys can see, I guess, what's in my mind. The first question is, you find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people? Not really. I never really had a problem with introducing myself, so I'll just click this one right here. You often get so lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. I do get lost in my thoughts, but I'm very self-aware. I'm kind of neurotic, not as much as I used to be, so I could be thinking about something and be lost in thought, but as soon as something pops up that needs attention, I immediately turn to it and strongly disagree. You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. I cannot stand a messy inbox. I try to keep my email very organized. Well, anything really organized. But I don't respond to emails as soon as possible. This one right here. Mildly agree. You find it easy to stay relaxed even when there is some pressure. Recently, this has been easier to do, to stay relaxed when there is more and more pressure. So I guess I would say, yes, I do. You do not usually initiate conversations. My whole life, I have never been a conversation initiator. Never. But recently, yes, I have. It's been easier to just sort of walk up to people. I've been developing more of my extrovertedness. I'm gonna go with this one. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. Yeah, that's true. I don't like to do things just out of, let's see what'll happen. I kind of like to have a reason. But there is also a spontaneity, which I enjoy, and impulsivity to a certain degree. Let's do this one next. I honestly don't know if I'm answering honestly or not. Let's see. I'm trying to. You feel superior to other people. I'm just gonna be honest here and go with that one because I do kind of feel superior to other people. It's a flaw. It's something wrong, definitely. But just inside, there's that, pride and that ego. If I'm gonna be honest here, then I'm just gonna go with that one. I don't like it, and I'm working on it. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. No, adaptable is more important to me. You are usually highly motivated and energetic. Not really. It really depends on what it is, which I think goes for all of us, but not usually. I'm not too energetic or highly motivated about a lot of things. I think it's that introvertedness. No. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. I do like winning my debates and being right. That could be a thinking trait. I'm gonna go with strongly disagree. You often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people. At the end of the day, I feel like, I don't have to explain myself to people. I'm gonna go with this one right here because there are times when you do have to justify yourself, I think. Your home and work environments are quite tidy. Yes, I try to stay very organized. I'm kind of a clean freak. I like to stay very clean and organized. You do not mind being at the center of attention. I do not mind being at the center of attention. I like attention. So, you consider yourself more practical than creative. No. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. No. I feel like I relate very strongly to other people's feelings, but I just, oftentimes I don't really know how to deal with people's feelings. Sorry, my dog is walking around here, so you might hear his claw sounds. Your mood can change very quickly. I'm gonna go with this one right here. My mood can change very easily, but it's just one of the things that I try really hard and to control, to not let that happen, to stay more stable. Next, in a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. Yeah, I think that's very true. Truth should be more important. So I very strongly agree. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. That's not true. I do worry about how my actions affect others a lot. I think that's how I've spent most of my life, probably. An interesting book or a video game is often better than a social event. As a kid, I would immediately go to the strongly agree. An interesting book would have been way better to me than a social event. Very introverted, I was a bookworm, and social events were not my thing. My introverted side does prefer kind of a quiet moment alone to myself, being by myself rather than social events. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. Nope. I do get carried away by fantasies and ideas. You often find yourself lost in thought when you are walking in nature. I would agree. On a going on a walk in a park, there you go, in nature, or a hike, make me get lost in thoughts and thinking about life. Actually, I'm just gonna change it. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. Now see, this is the question, or one of the questions, where they determine whether you're a feeling trait or a thinking trait, because the feeling trait will say kind, right? Because that's feeling the morals and values and principles, things like that. Whereas the thinking trait is going to say smart and shrewd, intelligent. I'm a Christian, and so what if there's a Christian person who immediately changes their mind and says, but it's more important to be kind and compassionate, things like that, right? So they kind of go against their immediate response. You have a thinking trait that is being typed as a feeling trait, but that's because of certain things in their lives, right? And so that may be one of the flaws. To me it is. But for me, I will say, I'm gonna go with this one right here. You do not let other people influence your actions. You know, I try to not be influenced by those around me, other people. I try to be very original. We're always influenced by those around us, by people. I've always been a person that would try to resist other people influencing me, things like that. So let's do that one. When you sleep, your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. No, they do not. My dreams are pretty crazy. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I would disagree. I've always tried to resist emotions and the control that they can have over you very strongly. So I'm gonna go with this one right here. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. Oh yes, I do like my intriguing ideas. You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. Once again, kind of depends on the situation, really. I am moving closer to the improvisation of life, going with the flow. I'll do that. You are a relatively reserved and quiet person. Yeah, I would say so. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. I think I would. Yeah, this is something that I think I would have a lot of trouble with. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. I do. If your friend is sad about something, you are more likely to offer emotional support and suggest ways to deal with the problem. You know, I would always, my whole life, I would always be suggesting ways to deal with the problem and being Mr. Practical and stuff. But lately, it's kind of been more of just offering emotional support and saying, hey, it's okay, what's going on, and just listening. But I think I'll have to go with this one right here. You rarely feel insecure. Ooh, I feel insecure quite a lot. One of the things that I try to battle. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. Well, when it comes to teamwork, it's important to be cooperative instead of being correct. I would disagree. But sometimes when a person's right, they're right, and the team members should recognize that. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not. I do think that everyone's view should be respected, obviously, but there is a point where you do need to kind of have a basis, which I respect from someone who can offer, this is why I believe this, here are the facts. I'm gonna go with, you feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. Obviously it depends on the group of people, but I'm gonna have to go with this one right here because I think more quickly than others I will feel the need to kind of be by myself and re-energized by going in and being alone. You frequently misplace your things. Yes and no. I do kind of have this problem where I'm holding something, but then something else comes up and I just kind of set that thing down and completely forget where I left it. But as a general, everything that I have, I do like to know exactly where it is, and in my mind, I know exactly where it is. So, not this one. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. I do think that I'm pretty emotionally stable. Inside, my emotions are kind of all over the place, but I try to keep it stable. So I think I'm gonna do this one. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Yes, I'm gonna have to strongly agree there. You would not call yourself a dreamer. I would call myself a dreamer. I am a dreamer. You worry too much about what other people think. I do kind of worry what people think, but not too much, not to a great extent. If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. Yeah, that's true. It's that introvertedness again. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. Yes. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. Agree. Let's do that one. You have always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things in books, art, or movies. Yes, I would strongly agree, as I'm sure a lot of you can tell. You often take initiative in social situations. Not really, but sometimes. It's weird. Okay, let's see my results. What is this? INFP. Wow. Oh, and an assertive INFP. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know, but I do think that this could be very true. Hopefully this answers some questions for a lot of you out there who were wondering. Not necessarily the result, but me answering the questions and talking about myself. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.